My name is Julia. I'm now in my early 20s, and I've spent more than a decade trying to come to terms with what happened to me when I was just 10 years old. The scariest part about the incident isn't the moment of danger itself. The scariest part is understanding all the warning signs that I missed. The scariest part is realizing how predators hide in plain sight, how they're often the people we're supposed to trust the most. If you love true horror stories about real trauma and survival, hit like and subscribe right now. And keep listening, because the night I spent at my best friend's house will teach you something that could save your life or the life of someone you care about. I was 10 years old when my family moved to a new neighborhood. My dad had just taken a teaching job at a local high school as a history teacher. We were excited about the fresh start. We were excited about a new house in a beautiful neighborhood. I was nervous about starting at a new school, but I also felt hopeful about making new friends. On my first day of school, I was shy and nervous, but the kids in my class behaved nicely to me. They didn't make fun of me for being new. They didn't ostracize me. Instead, they welcomed me. And that's where I met Sally. Sally was a cheerful girl with a lot of friends. She had this natural magnetism about her. Everyone seemed to like her, and for some reason she decided to befriend me. She introduced me to all the other kids in the class. She made sure I felt welcome. She included me in her group of friends. Within days, I'd gone from being the shy new girl to being part of the popular group. Sally and I started spending a lot of time together. We would walk home from school together. We would hang out on weekends. We shared secrets with each other. She was the best friend I'd ever had. I felt like I could tell her anything, and I thought she could tell me anything too. I trusted her completely. One day after school, I was coming home with my dad when I saw something that surprised me. Sally was getting into a car that belonged to our principal, Mr. Sherman. I asked my dad who Mr. Sherman was, and he told me that Mr. Sherman was the principal of my school. He also mentioned that Mr. Sherman was Sally's stepfather. I was actually impressed by that. I thought it was cool that my best friend's parent was the principal of our school. I thought Sally was lucky. I didn't know then how wrong I was. I didn't know that being the daughter of the principal would make it easier for predators to hide in plain sight. I didn't know that authority and position could be used as a shield against scrutiny. Days and weeks passed. My friendship with Sally grew stronger. We became closer. We trusted each other more. We shared more secrets. We laughed together. We were inseparable. Everything seemed perfect. But then something happened that should have been a warning sign. We were walking down the school corridor one day when a boy named Rogan accidentally bumped into Sally. He was walking from the opposite direction and they collided. It was clearly accidental. He immediately apologized. But Sally's reaction was shocking. She screamed. She slapped him hard across the face. She started yelling at him. I was stunned. I didn't think Sally would react like that to an accident. Sally was always so nice, so kind, so gentle. This outburst was completely unlike her. Teachers ran toward us and took her away. Sally and I were both called to the principal's office later that day. When we got there, I saw Mr. Sherman sitting in his chair. Rogan was sitting across from him. Rogan's mother and my dad were standing in the corner watching everything. Mr. Sherman stared at me and asked me to explain exactly what happened. He said I was the only one who was standing close to both Sally and Rogan. He said I was the only witness who could tell him the truth. Before I could even start speaking, Sally screamed. She said Rogan had done it intentionally. She said he had bumped into her on purpose. Mr. Sherman scolded her in a loud voice. He told her she would not say a single word until she was asked to speak. He told her to sit down and be quiet, or he would suspend her. Sally sat down and started to sob silently. I said in a shaking voice that we were walking and Rogan had slipped accidentally. I said he had bumped into Sally, but that he was walking from the opposite direction. I said there was no way Sally could have seen him coming. Rogan's mother spoke up. She said in a soft voice that Mr. Sherman shouldn't be so hard on his daughter. She said Sally was always such a nice girl. She said it was just an accident. Mr. Sherman looked at Sally and said in a cold voice that she needed to apologize to Rogan. He said if she ever reacted this way again, he would suspend her for a month. Sally apologized to Rogan with tears running down her face. Then she left the principal's office in tears. Rogan and I both felt bad for her. We both felt like Sally had been treated unfairly, but neither of us said anything. Sally didn't talk to anyone for the entire rest of that day. She didn't say goodbye to me when she left for home. I thought she was angry at me. I thought I'd let her down by telling the truth instead of supporting her. I was devastated. That night I called her house. Her mother picked up instead of Sally. I said hello and asked if I could talk to Sally. I told her mother that I was Sally's friend Julia. Her mother replied in an awkward voice. She said Sally wasn't in the mood to talk to anyone that day. She said Sally would probably meet me at school the next day. I felt certain then that Sally was angry with me. I felt certain that our friendship was over, but the next day at school, something unexpected happened. I saw Sally coming down the corridor with Mr. Sherman. They were walking together. Mr. Sherman came to me and said that Sally was lucky to have a friend like me. Then he smiled and walked away toward his office. Sally stood beside me and apologized for the mess yesterday. She said she hoped we could be friends again. A smile of joy lit up my face. I went to go hug her, but she took a few steps back. She said awkwardly that she had a cold and that I should maintain distance for my own good. She smiled, but it seemed forced. I noticed something odd. Throughout the entire rest of that day, I never once saw Sally cough or sneeze. Her behavior started to feel odd to me. But I was just happy that we were friends again, so I didn't think too much about it. After our classes, Sally and I both stood near the school exit, waiting for our parents to take us home. Sally was looking different that day. I could tell from her face that something was bothering her. Something was wrong, but she wasn't telling me what it was. I asked in a worried voice if she was all right. Sally suddenly looked at me with wide eyes. She said hesitantly, "Why would I ask her that?" She said she was more than all right. She said she was just tired. I replied that if anything was bothering her, she could tell me. She could trust me. Sally's face turned upset. I realized there was something she wasn't telling me. But before she could speak, I heard Mr. Sherman's voice behind me. He said, "Why don't you invite your friend over for a sleepover? Sally, she's such a caring and good friend to you." Sally uncomfortably smiled and said, "Yeah, that I should come someday for a sleepover." She said she had lots of toys and that we could have fun together. Mr. Sherman then said, "Why someday? Why not tomorrow?" He said Julia should come on tomorrow and spend the night with them. He said he was sure Sally would be glad to have me. My dad smiled and nodded. I agreed to go. My mom baked a cake to give to the Shermans as a thank you gift for inviting me over. The next evening, she took me to their house. As we pulled up, I was impressed. The Sherman house was beautiful. It was much bigger than my own house. It had nice landscaping and a well-maintained yard. My mum chatted with Mrs. Sherman for some time while I went to look at Sally's room. Sally's room was honestly amazing. It had everything a girl could want. It had a television, a computer, toys, books, everything. My mum kissed me goodnight and left me in Sally's care. After a delicious dinner that Mrs. Sherman had prepared, Sally and I sat down to watch some television in the living room. One thing that felt unusual to me was that Sally's behavior turned robotic when Mr. Sherman was around. I could tell from her face that she was always nervous around him, but I never said anything about this to Sally because I thought it was natural to feel a bit distant from your stepfather. Around 9 o'clock, Mr. Sherman came to us and said that it was time to go to bed. He said we had had enough television for one day. We went to Sally's room and I went inside and instinctively locked the door. I'd been raised to lock doors for privacy and safety. But instantly Mr. Sherman came rushing to the door and started banging on it. He yelled at me to open the door. His voice was loud and angry. I got extremely shocked and I opened the door immediately. My heart was pounding. Mr. Sherman said in an annoying voice that they don't lock doors in this house. He said that Julia, specifically Sally, has a habit of going to the bathroom at midnight. He said that in case of any emergency, it's better to keep the rooms unlocked. He said goodnight and walked away. I said in a relieved voice that, geez, her father was strict. Sally said in an upset voice that he was her stepfather. She said that her dad loved her a lot, but there was something in her voice, something that didn't match her words. There was pain in her voice. There was fear. She then lied on her bed. I could easily sense the disturbance in this house. I could feel that something was wrong, but there was nothing I could do about it. I went to lie down as well. That's when Sally said something really weird. She asked me if I would mind sleeping on the door side of the bed. She said she wanted to sleep near the window. I replied that, yes, sure, I didn't mind. We talked for a few more minutes and gradually fell asleep. But I don't recall what time it was when I woke up. Something woke me up, a weird sensation. I felt something tickling my feet. The tickle was very gentle. It took time for my brain to register what was happening. As I opened my eyes in the darkness, I saw a dark figure standing right next to my side of the bed. It was a man with wide, creepy eyes. The man was moving his hand up my leg, and I realized it was not a dream at all. My eyes adjusted to the darkness. The pale moonlight coming through the window touched the man's face as he leaned over me. The man's face became clear. It was none other than Mr. Sherman. I screamed from the top of my lungs. I screamed a scream that came from my deepest core. Mr. Sherman stepped back in response. He said in a scared voice that, Julia, this was Sally's side of the bed. He asked why I was there, but before he could say anything further, Sally's mom rushed into our room. She switched on the light and got shocked. I was sitting on the bed with a terrified face. Sally got up crying out loud. Mrs. Sherman said in a panicked voice what the hell was going on here. Mr. Sherman said in a fumbled voice that he was just checking if the girls were sleeping. He said there was nothing more to it than that, but in that moment I understood everything. I understood how he had victimized Sally. I understood why she was so terrified of someone's touch. I understood why she wanted me to sleep on the door side of the bed. She had been trying to protect me. She'd been trying to shield me from him, but I also realized something that night. I realized why Sally had asked me to swap sides of the bed. It wasn't a random request. It wasn't because she liked sleeping near the window. It was nothing but a cry for help. It was a way for her to protect me, while also hoping that someone would finally discover what was happening to her. Looking back now, I see all the warning signs that I missed. Sally's sudden outburst in the school corridor, her nervous behavior around Mr. Sherman, the way she flinched when he came near her, the way she insisted that I take the door side of the bed. All of these were signs that something was deeply wrong. But I was just a 10-year-old girl. I didn't understand predators. I didn't understand abuse. I didn't understand that danger could hide behind a position of authority. I didn't understand that the person you're supposed to trust the most could be the one causing the most harm. This experience changed my life. It affected how I viewed the world. It made me more aware of danger. It made me more protective of other children. It made me want to help victims of abuse come forward and tell their stories. To this day, I still go to therapy to work through the trauma. Not just from what happened to me, but from what happened to Sally. From knowing that my best friend suffered for so long in silence. From knowing that I didn't see the signs sooner, but I also know that none of this was my fault. I was a child. Sally was a child. We were both victims in different ways. And Mr. Sherman was a predator who used his position of authority to abuse a child in his care. If you're watching this and you know a child who is being abused, please reach out to someone. Call the police. Call a child protection agency. Tell a trusted adult. Don't let another child suffer in silence like Sally did. Don't let another predator hide behind a position of authority. The scariest part about this story isn't the moment when Mr. Sherman was discovered. The scariest part is knowing that there are hundreds of Mr. Shermans out there right now. There are predators hiding in schools and homes in positions of trust, and they're preying on children who are too scared or too ashamed to speak up. That's what keeps me awake at night. That's what drives me to tell this story. That's why I share my experience. Because I want other people to understand that abuse doesn't always look the way we think it does. It doesn't always come from strangers. It often comes from the people we're supposed to trust the most. And if you're a child reading or listening to this, please know that if someone is touching you inappropriately, it's not your fault. You're not alone. There are people who can help you. Please tell someone. Please reach out. Please don't suffer in silence like my friend Sally did.